Welcome to Sports Back Talk with Boly and Ringer. Thanks for letting us have a week off. Had to get those 4 playoff games done last weekend, and last week I should say, not weekend, week. And
Yeah.
So it was a busy week, and we made her through relatively unscathed.
Well, yeah.
How about for you? Because I know you were on vacay.
Yeah, I was on with the new job. I really can't call it vacay because I didn't get paid.
Oh, wow.
So it's
Okay, well, yeah.
it's understandable. I've only been with my new job for about 7 weeks now, and it wouldn't be fair to have myself expect them to pay me for my first.
So what was the highlight of the trip to Vegas?
It's always Joe's. It's my favorite place to go to. It's not Joe's Seafood and that chain.
Okay.
It's a smaller chain called Joe's Crab and Steakhouse.
Okay.
Okay, they have stone crab, but their steaks are amazing. So we had a mixture. Diana had ahi tuna steak. It was actually a round filet mignon steak. And then they put this Bolognese sauce over the top of it. They cooked it medium rare. It was probably the best thing, ahi tuna, I've ever eaten. Better than everything I've ever tasted.
And see, I had ahi tuna once, and I'll never be able to eat it again.
Really? Must not have cooked it right.
It was so rare.
Oh.
It was so rare that it was cold on the inside. I couldn't do it. It was.
Yeah, ahi tartar is very common. I mean, eating ahi tuna raw is not an issue in my gig. I had the seafood platter, and my brother-in-law had a dry-aged bone-in ribeye steak that I think was about 20 ounces, and it was. I mean, everybody's food is always amazing there. They got best crab bisque in the world. And the 4 locations I know because I've been to 3 of them: Chicago,
London, no, I'm just kidding.
Las Vegas. The one I haven't been to is Miami, and they got one about two blocks away from the Capitol in Washington D.C. So those are the 4 total locations. I've been to 3. And it's always a highlight of my trip, and it's always one I'll always review and give a good review. So if you're ever in Vegas, at Joe's Crab and Steak House, and it's located in Caesar's Palace. Go there. Unplug it. I might get paid for this.
You could be doing the commercial for them, and I see that you were at a hockey game on Saturday night. Is this, or was that like you stole the picture from somebody?
No, the Gopher North Dakota game. My brother-in-law ended up getting tickets. I saw Deanie Blaze there, and of course Kevin Gordon and Timmy Fulton were there. And
wow. Well, you know, Dino's only a couple hundred miles away in Mesa, so
yeah. And he sees me. He says, "Boy," I say, "Hey, good to see you." He says, "What are you doing here?" I said, "I found out 4 days ago. My brother-in-law had 4 tickets through his grocery stores he has, and it's basically all only ones that were getting these tickets were from North Dakota. If you were a Minnesota fan, you never really got them." And I said, "Yeah, I got them." And he says, "Well, how'd you get tickets?" I said, "Hey, Dean, I'm still connected."
That is correct.
I didn't tell him the whole story.
So what happened in the game? Because Tim has no idea.
Well, the Gophers got beat 3-1. Sioux definitely were the better team. I should say.
Hawks?
Let me put it.
The Fighting Hawks.
Sorry about that. The Fighting Hawks from North Dakota played way better. It could have been 5-6-1. A lot of penalties both ways. A lot of glass issues, which I won't even talk about.
Is this where the Knights play?
No, it's Orleans. It's where their West Coast Hockey League team, the Las Vegas Gamblers, they're called.
Okay.
Coincidentally, and it's been in play for a while at the Orleans, and it was probably seated maybe 5,000, and 4,950 of them were wearing green.
Okay.
And there were 50 in Gophers, and I kind of was. I wanted both to lose, to be honest. I'd rather.
Well, and it must have been very painful for you because I know how you don't like watching college hockey, so you had to take the pill and swallow it.
It was a good game though.
Okay.
I mean, North Dakota outworked them, and that's why they won it. And it's Motzko. That's the big thing with him, and we mentioned this earlier on another show where he's always been a coach that maybe coach the underdog players instead of now he's got the elite. So he's got to find a way to get these elite players, and he has a bunch of them
To get motivated.
To get motivated, and McLaughlin kid played from Grand Rapids, and also the Hain kid, he played for North Dakota. Didn't see him out there one-on-one. Hain played mostly fourth line. McLaughlin got some top-end minutes with Cates, and so McLaughlin's playing regular top 6 minutes. But Hain's going to take a little longer, I think, and look good for Rosa was the Jan kid out of Rosa.
Okay.
And he struggled his first 2 years. It's a big step going from high school hockey to college, and we've seen some other ex-range kids like the Patrick Whites and Sakettis, and a lot of them struggled in college. They were great high school hockey players on the Iron Range, but for some reason they jumped up to the next level and didn't make that next step. But anyways, it was a good game, good, successful, fun trip. My sister's 60, and I said, we'll come back when I turn 60 in 2 years and 1 month.
And the snow's on the ground.
Yeah, it'll be on the ground here, I would think. December.
Yeah, here, not probably in Vegas.
December 1st, and that will be a paid vacation.
That will be a paid vacation in 2 years. There you go. As long as we're talking college hockey, I will make mention that my Bulldogs got a pair of wins at Notre Dame over the weekend. So that was nice to see. I didn't see if they got voted number 1 today, but I would assume that they moved back up to number 1, the Bulldogs.
Well, it's strange because when I saw the Gophers playing, the Gophers were the better team both nights. And Notre Dame's ranked number 1 in the country, and it's just, it just goes to show you. I saw my Friars beat up on the Boston University Terriers 5-love. So the watch for the Friars this year. They got another team that's ready to make a run. And college hockey is, again, it's going to be a crapshoot. I couldn't tell you who's going to win what, and because right now it's too early to tell.
Well, it's too early to tell. It's not even November, and they don't start the playoffs till March. Teams are going to change physically because of getting beat up and everything else prior to then.
Did you know this? This was the official Hall of Fame game out in Vegas.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, it said that right on the boards, Hall of Fame game, and they've had it forever, probably since back in the early 70s, early 80s, but it's always been traditionally, up until about the last 3 years, the first game ever for the year. And they usually played this time of the year, mid to end of October, and then the regular teams then they all started playing. But now it's mixed in right into with the rest of the schedule.
I suppose they probably had to fit it in around the gambler schedule and whatever else out there.
And I guarantee you, North Dakota will do this again next year. There's no way Vegas is going
to let this go.
That's a moneymaker for them. 9,500.
But they got to get it in the Knights Arena where they can seat like 13,000.
There's lots of problems with the boards and the glass at this place, and they were fixing that all night. But here's the deal: you're gonna invite this team back every year because, and Vegas holds a lot of people already.
Yeah.
But when you got a sea of green all over, and they're all having fun, and
they're spending money.
They are spending a ton of money. I mean, big money.
Those farmers out in North Dakota, they got a lot of money.
Yeah, I mean, I have a hard time spending $8 on a beer. I really do. I mean, I'd rather go thirsty.
But you didn't.
I did not. I did not die of thirst. No, I was hydrated pretty much. Well, actually, no, because when you drink alcoholic beverages, it actually dehydrates you. I don't know if you knew that or not.
I did.
And you seem to be dehydrated a lot.
I seem to be dehydrated. I don't know how I can find time to do all that, but as long as we're talking hockey, let's talk Wild. They played pretty well last week.
I'm perplexed.
Because?
I don't get it.
Because they looked so crappy 2 weeks ago, and they finally turned the corner?
They got 4 really good defensemen.
Yeah.
They're not going to win any 5-4, 4-3. All their games are going to be 1-goal games.
Okay.
So the faint of heart, the ones who struggle with watching a whole game and a goalie getting pulled against them all the time, or vice versa, us pulling the goalie, you might as well get used to it, because that's how this team will have to play to win. Granlund has 5 goals. I think 4 of them have been empty netters. He has played well, though, the last 4 games. He's starting to come around. But Brodin and Dumba are superstars in the making, both of them. Brodina's a little worried about the first 4 games, but he's been outstanding ever since. Then you got Suter and Spurgeon. They're always reliable.
So what's his name? I can't. The GM.
Pattern? Oh.
Fenton did it right by signing Dumba to this big contract.
Oh, yeah, that was a no-brainer. And I still think Zucker's a good sign. Okay, I mean, he's got the speed. He does have the passion. His defensive play is a little marginal, and I'll go after him every once in a while on that, and that's just because that's the way I am. But, Coyle even has played better, but he's still missing it.
Dubnik's been the superstar. I mean, he's
best goalie in the NHL.
He's playing out of his mind, and it's just, I mean, it's great. You can't expect him to do it for an 82-game regular season. He's going to have a dip somewhere along the way. And I think the biggest thing is, and maybe I'm a little nervous about this, now we're going on this 7-game road trip. That they need to get Stalock they got to get him some minutes.
I don't know how you can. Obviously Bob Mason, the best goalie coach in the NHL.
I'm not saying that he isn't. I just say I think you got to get this guy some minutes. I think Dubnik can't. I don't want Dubnik playing 67 games out of 82 come March, and then April. All of a sudden we're going, well, Dubnik's tired. He just can't. He doesn't got anything left.
Well,
I'm just saying.
Yeah, he'll play one of the next 2, either Vancouver
because they're playing back-to-back nights, right?
Or in Edmonton. Then they go to St. Louis and then back out west.
Yeah, it's a screwy. They're probably coming home, I'm sure, after Tuesday, and then heading to St. Louis.
And speaking of St. Louis, Yosie's back on the hot seat.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. This was supposed to be a bona fide cup contender, and they're slipping down in 5th and 6th. And look at who's down there again. I said it again, Ringer, and I'll say it again right now. Dallas and St. Louis, I said it, neither of them will make the playoffs, and right now both are long out of the playoffs. And the Wild, who I also said wasn't going to be in the playoffs, is 6-2-2, and I don't know how. It's
smoke and mirrors, baby.
It's mind-boggling, and I hope I'm wrong, and they continue to play the way they have. But like I said, you better get used to 1-goal games because they're going to play in a lot of them.
What else has been going on in the NHL? You probably had some time while you were out in Vegas to kind of peruse and keep a track of things.
Well, I've been on some parlays.
What's maybe your biggest surprise, and maybe what's your we knew this was going to happen?
Well, my knew it was going to happen are the New Jersey Devils. Okay, a lot of teams didn't have them making the final 8, making the playoffs. They're a solid top 3 team in the East right now, and so to me, it's no surprise. I expected New Jersey to be up there. Calgary's the one that's kind of confusing right now. So we'll see what happens there. They do have the new coach. They have to get used to his system. You know how much I love that word. They got bombed out 9-1 by Pittsburgh. Then the next night got beat by Washington. And the 2 teams that disappointed me in Vegas they ruined 2 parlays for me. And a parlay, you pick 3 to 5, or you can go up to 8 or 9 games. But I usually go 3 to 5 games, and they all got to be right. You got to pick the right team in all of them. And if you miss 1 game, your parlay's out. And Winnipeg and Nashville cost me. They were both losing at home. Okay, Winnipeg or Nashville lost to the Detroit Red Wings.
Nobody loses to the Detroit Red Wings.
How does that happen?
Not at home, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it took the ring right off my finger. Yeah, I was.
So that only cost you how many potato chips?
Well, I usually do $10 or $20 parlays. So, but they were both $90 to $110 hits.
I was going to say, how much could you have won? That's the other thing.
Yeah, how much could have you have won?
How much could you have won if they had done what they were supposed to do?
Yeah, but I was telling the Joyce family over here. I did. What did I told somebody? I don't know. It's a long time ago. 10 minutes.
20 minutes ago.
But I did really well on the last day. We on Saturday. I won all 3 of my college games. $22 a play, and I got 20 back. And then I hit a 5 of a kind with deuces, or 4 of a kind with deuces with the ace, and then I hit another 4 of a kind. So within a 10-minute period, 750 chameleons for Boly Boy, and of course Diana, who took the money and put it in her wallet.
And I was going to say, so did you come home like where at high?
We still lost because of the beer costs.
Oh wow. I wouldn't count that in. I count gambling, and you're going to lose the money on the beer. You're never going to win that.
Yeah, anybody ever come to Looney's Brew and say, geez, $4 for a tap beer? Hey, that tap beer is $9 in Vegas. So this place is awesome. Come out to Looney's. They got all kinds of beverages on tap. They got their special beer of the week that you get for half price. Yeah. So
$2.
Yeah. So $2. You come out and find out what their beer special is and say, I want the $2 beer. Don't ever complain about prices here at Looney's. The quality's here. The ambience is here. So you go to Vegas, you're going to pay for it.
You're going to pay through the nose. Let's. I know you're not an NBA fan, but I got to ask you what you think about Jimmy Butler and Houston offering 4 first-round picks, and the Timberwolves turned it down.
Well, here's why. It's pretty simple. They would be getting 28th to 32nd picks in the draft for the next 4 years.
Well, actually, they can't take them in back-to-back years, so it would have been spread over 7 years. So
yeah, the Towns will be gone, Wiggins will be gone. Wiggins, I don't know if he'll ever be any good. But Butler thing's gone on too long already. It's obviously causing issues in the locker room. He got 4 points the other night.
I was just going to say, the day after Houston offered 4 first-round picks for him, he scored 4 points against the Bucks on Friday night. I'm
guessing what Thibodeau wants exactly. He wants a couple high first-round picks, but he also wants some players that can play right now that can possibly get the Timberwolves into the playoffs. But we don't have a championship caliber team, and we talked about this the other day.
Me and you talked about
a little bit. There's only 4 teams that can win the NBA title: Boston, the Golden State Warriors, Houston, which is struggling a little bit, and maybe 3. Who's the 4th? Lakers with LeBron, maybe.
Not the Lakers.
The other 28 teams should just fold up their tent. Don't even show up at the arenas. Don't show up at the arena. See, the fans quit showing up at the arena. They'll quit building these all-star teams all over the league. Well, I shouldn't say all over the league. There's only 4 all-star teams. The other 28 teams can't win the title. So as a fan, that would be kind of upsetting, right?
I hear you.
I mean, you're paying what? $35 to $55 for a decent seat, and you're paying 3 digits.
I thought you were going to say for a beverage.
You're paying 3 digits. You're paying $9. Yeah, you're paying $9. Again, did I mention Looney's Brew half price?
I think you might have. Well, let's move on to the NFL. And shall we start with the Vikings game from last night, or
we can? I listened on the radio. My plane got in at 5:30 last night, so we drove.
And then you drove up. Okay.
So I got everything on the radio, and of course, Paul Allen's about as Homerville as you can get.
Well, we were driving home as well last night, and my wife, I said to her, "Are you listening at all?" And she really wasn't. And I said, what just happened? She goes, "I don't know, I wasn't listening." I said, "Well, that was a first down." And she says, "That was a first down?" Because she could hear him screaming.
Yeah.
And then a little bit later, they got another first down. She goes, "That was only a first down, right?" And I'm like, "Yep." And then they scored a touchdown. It was exactly the same scream, only the word changed. And she's like, "So touchdown. The first down is the same thing as a touchdown." She couldn't quite understand that. Yeah.
So I didn't get to watch the game. I do know this, even over the radio. The game turned on the Thielen fumble. They were going in for 6, 3 at the minimum. So that was a 14-point swing. Momentum was taken right out. Did you know Thielen never caught another ball till halfway through the 4th quarter after that?
I did not know that.
Not saying Cousins was afraid to go to him. It just their offense was totally out of whack off that.
Okay.
Cousins was...
And I know you didn't see it, but did they say something on the radio about why they thought that they were out of sync? Because a few weeks ago, we decided that Cousins was somebody, mainly Mike Zimmer, decided that Cousins throwing the ball too much.
Oh.
We need to run the ball because at some point we're going to have to run the ball. So we have made this concerted effort to run on first down more often than throwing the ball. So all of a sudden, instead of being whatever, we're 2nd and 8.
2nd and long, yeah.
2nd and 7. And then we decided that maybe we should run again, so now we're in 3rd and 4. Well, the other team knows, they ain't going to run again because that would be stupid. Yep. So what do? They pin their ears back, and here they come. And so you're putting this offensive line, I think, in a no-win situation because now you're almost being too predictable. We're going to run, pass. Run, pass, instead of giving the other team something to think about. And it just seemed to me when I watched what I watched in the second half, that's kind of what we were dealing with, and it's almost like we've become too predictable, and we need to keep teams off balance a little bit more.
Yeah, the only issue I have with Cousins is he doesn't have a feel for a pass rush.
Yeah.
So
How can you play for this long and not know?
And I think that was the reason. Everybody says there had to be a reason Washington refused to sign him to a $20 to $25 million deal.
Yeah.
And to me, that had to be it. Because if you don't have a feel in the pocket, or as they say, eyes in the back of your head, just that, athletic feel, quarterback's really tough to play. Because you're going to get hit a lot, blindsided. In other words, what does he lost? Like 8 fumbles already this year? And
it's a large number.
We've played 8 games. So basically he's given a ball up every game, and the guy's about as accurate a passer as I think I've seen
and he can put some zip on it.
Since Peyton Manning, as far as that goes. But his feel for the game isn't as high caliber as I would want.
And it seems like those fumbles come in crucial, deep in our own territory places. I know the one that he fumbled last night that I saw. Yeah. His knee was down, but it's still the same thing. It's just kind of like, and I don't know if you can develop that. No matter how long you play, sometimes you just don't have that sense of what's happening around you. And it was disappointing. And I know the defense was a little beat up last night, especially the secondary. I mean, we're starting guys that I don't even know who they are. So I mean, you've got some scary things going on in the secondary. And I know every team's beat up, so I'm not using it as an excuse. But you got some guys out there that have never played hardly a down in the NFL, and you're expecting them to guard a pretty good offense in New Orleans. I mean, it's not like take the first game out, throw that out against Tampa Bay, and they might be one of the better teams in the NFC. So it's kind of scary.
They can be a good defense. Will shut that team down. It's been proven. And the Vikings didn't do bad against them, but you're right. I mean, you don't have your best corner, and Griffin obviously isn't back to where he needs to be. Yeah. When your best guys are Weatherby and Danielle Hunter, and Harrison Smith is always going to be your best guy, but that's not the defense we were built around. We were built around those 2 linebackers and Barr and Kendricks, both of them been off, much like their UCLA former team, and we shall see. I mean, I still got them going 10-5-1, and they will win the NFC Central, but it'll be tough for them, and until these guys get back and healthy. I mean, Delvin Cook still hasn't played at all, and this Riley Reef, bad signing. I mean, they're always, same guys are always hurt, and their offensive line is not the line that we all thought it could be because all these guys are hurt, so I don't know.
It'll be scary. What else did you not see here in the NFL yesterday because you didn't get to watch any of it?
Well, you mentioned Cousins, they're getting too predictable. That Mahomes from Kansas City, he goes back to pass every play. He didn't seem to be having a problem.
26 touchdowns in 8 games or something?
Yeah, he's right up there with the Peyton Mannings of the world as far as number of touchdowns after 8 weeks. And he's crazy good. And, every week, 3 to 4. And they're throwing some good defenses at him.
And again, I'm not condemning. I mean, I would like to be able to run the football. But I think we're getting too predictable with the run, going back to the Vikings thing. And I think Cousins threw for 400 yards twice or 3 times in the first 4 or 5 games. And things seem to be, I know we were 1-1-1, but I think things offensively were working. So I'm kind of the mentality, if it ain't broke, don't fix it type of thing. So we'll see. Maybe in the master plan, this will make us better down the line. And
I still think the Rams are the best team in the football.
I think you're probably right. Although Kansas City is...
Yeah, Kansas City's probably the most explosive, but that defense... eventually, they're going to lose some shootouts. The Kansas City's defense. A lot of times, you understand too that the defense is going to be a lot better when they're up by 14 to 21 points a game.
Wow.
So now, like you mentioned earlier, the pins,
the ears are pinned back. And
they're go. But Kansas City's a beatable team, and the Pittsburghs. I mean, New England showed Kansas City who the real marquee of the AFC is, and they will always be the marquee as long as Brady and Belichick are there. B&B.
B&B. How did your fantasy team do this?
They won again. 7-1. won back to back.
7-1. Weren't you undefeated the last time we spoke?
No, I was 5-0 and I lost to Corbett's and Begsy. They got 24 points out of their kicker from the New York Jets. So
Oh, yes.
we lost that one,
That's
but back to back. James Conner's been the IFFL
Superstar?
Yeah, he's the MVP of the week. Le'Veon Bell's backup. So I don't even want Bell to come back. Why would I want to mess up that
What?
backfield? Why would
Did
I
you
want,
just say that?
Because if he comes back, now I got a backfield by committee. I don't want that. I want a horse and no
Is
little.
Le'Veon Bell going to come back?
We'll find out probably tomorrow, or today or tomorrow.
Because why today or tomorrow?
Well, when's the trade deadline? Friday, Saturday? He didn't want to come in this week because in case he got traded. But he's not going to get traded. Rumor about Pierre Garçon is getting traded. Tell you this right now, Eli Manning might get traded to Jacksonville.
Wow.
Tom Coughlin, there's some ties there. Tom Coughlin's in the front office at Jacksonville. He coached Eli when he won his 2 Super Bowls. Okay?
Yeah.
Eli, they're already talking about him not, Shermer's talking about not playing him after the bye week. So that's my trade pick of the week is Eli Manning will be going to Jacksonville. Might be too late, they're 3-5.
Scary.
Yeah.
And of course, you watched the Gopher football team win their only Big Ten game they're going to. I guess they'll say, hey, I said they wouldn't win a Big Ten game. They pulled it off. And
see, you're not like me. I'm a Gopher fan, true and true.
They had it in the bag. Then they decided to open the bag and see if they could let it get away. They tried to give it away. And then they pulled it out.
What were they up, 31-9 at one point?
31-9 at the start of the fourth
Who's this
quarter.
quarterback that played?
He's the backup for the backup, I think. I think he's the number
So we
three.
lost our freshman quarterback already?
He got hurt. And then this...
Warner?
I can't... Huh? Morgan came in and played.
Morgan Stanley?
Tanner Morgan came in and played. But who's the kid who comes in and runs the ball when they need to run? I can't think of his name right now.
Shannon Brooks is...
quarterback that comes in.
Green.
Yeah, Shannon
Green.
Brooks, that was his first game, right?
And Green was the guy who came in and ran a few times. So
Yeah.
Annexstead was on the sideline, and they found a way to get their first Big Ten win. Maybe they can beat Illinois.
Maybe not.
Maybe not.
I say 50-50. I think Illinois will be favored by about 4.5 to 6 right in that area. But, who knows? They're playing better.
I assume that you saw that Eric Curry had knee surgery again for the Gopher men's basketball team, out 4 to 6 weeks. You just got done talking about injuries for the Vikings. Why do we keep bringing these guys in? And then we bring this guy.
This guy could have been a special player. Unfortunately, the old knees. I mean, Bill Walton was a phenomenal player, and he ran into knees, and he was never the same. Eric Curry's only in college. He could have been a first-round draft pick. Now, I don't know. He's going to probably struggle with that, I think.
Yeah, kind of scary. So the Gophers men's basketball team gets some bad news
Right back
there.
at it.
I
I did not see. Somebody got fired today.
Huh?
Somebody in the NFL got fired today. A
Really?
coach. Yeah. Do you guys know who that was?
Yeah, Cleveland.
Oh, I heard that NBA
basketball.
Tyronn Lue got fired for the Cavaliers.
Oh, did the Cleveland?
Cavaliers fired.
Oh,
the
Cleveland football coach. No, Cleveland basketball.
Yeah, Tyronn Lue. Yeah.
Yeah.
LeBron James kind of kept him afloat the last year or two, but somebody. Greg Williams. Where's Greg Williams at? Defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Wherever he's at, he was just hired to be the interim head coach. So we could maybe have somebody Google that, and because that's how we all live in this world. Welcome to the future, as Brad Paisley once sang.
Once?
Hey, what are you guys having over there? I see little Chinese boxes. Is that good or what? What'd you guys have?
Is it technically Chinese? And I don't mean to be picky because I ate there myself today. So we got into the discussion with my students because they were calling it Chinese, and I'm like, well,
Asian?
Is it Chinese? It says Cantonese, I believe, on their menus.
Yeah.
So is that the same thing? I don't know.
I will say this about that place. Again, we're not here to promote and advertise businesses, but I've been to a lot of Chinese restaurants on the range, Duluth, wherever. This place is some of the best Chinese food I've ever had.
Well,
right? Am I right?
I brought an out-of-towner with me who was speaking in my class, and I took him out he took me out for lunch, I should say. And I said, well, where do you want to go? And he said, I don't know, you pick. So I took him there, and he was over the top.
It's amazing.
Couldn't say enough good stuff about lunch. He thought it was fabulous.
I think we're very fortunate of having a lot of great restaurants in this area. We got the Rainy White Grill right over here, which is some old Arrowhead pizza style stuff, and I've eaten there a few times this summer. And of course, our Mexican restaurant. I mean, we have good food here. I mean, look at this. I'm not getting cheated.
Anything else on the football scene that you'd like to discuss?
No, I don't think so.
I do want to make mention that the winter season is getting started today, as the Bronco girls hockey team had their first practices.
Do they have ice?
They are skating at Cary Park.
Okay.
There will be ice in Bronco Arena. Hopefully, and this is from a pretty reliable source, they are hoping by the 20th of November.
Is that the first game?
As the first girls' home hockey game.
Yes, I saw it on the calendar.
That they hope that they will have ice in and ready to be played upon.
Well, it better be, because I voted yes on that referendum, doggone it, and I voted yes saying we're going to put ice in that arena.
And I understand what you're saying, and I think the reliable
things
source
happen.
They would like to see it get done a little bit quicker, but there are other issues going on that these businesses have to take care of, so yes, the Bronco girls are skating at Bronco Arena. I believe they skated at 6:15 this morning and skate like at 7 o'clock tonight. And
not to give my brother a plug, but there will be a new girls hockey coach this year. Gerald had resigned due to he got a new job, and he just can't give 100% to the girls, which is what he wants to do, and that wouldn't be fair to them.
Yeah, Michelle McDonald taking over, and
she was good for her. I like
she
Michelle.
was the one who got it, and so
the whole McDonald family.
It's father-daughter for the head coaches for the Broncos.
That has to be the first time.
I would be very curious to see if there has ever been in the state of Minnesota a father-daughter head coaches at the same high school. Maybe at
Well, back in 2010, there was a brother.
There was a brother.
Yes.
That's a rare combination
rare.
as well as we take care of things there. Are you ready to open it up to Q&A?
Yeah, we're done. I mean, I think we did a good show and not being organized.
Taking 2 weeks off, we should be ready to roll.
Yeah, we'll try to do better next week. What do we got for questions?
All right, Paul, what do you got written down over there?
Oh, he's got stuff written down. We're in trouble, right?
Yes, we are in trouble.
Well, we'll throw you an easy one first. Your favorite food when you're tailgating or at the game?
What?
Favorite food.
Favorite food when you're at a game? Bratwurst. Bratwurst with sauerkraut and onions and mustard.
Really?
Oh, can't beat it.
Hands down, chicken wings. The reason being, easy to eat. Okay, no mess, and you can eat a bunch of them.
Yeah. Okay.
Chicken wings.
What's next, Paul?
Outdoor game or indoor game?
Outdoor game or indoor game?
What sport?
Doesn't matter. He's not giving us a sport.
If you got a favorite that's outside versus inside?
Okay.
Well, you sound. Can I use this word?
Yeah.
I'm going to use the word pansy. If you say indoors, you sound like a pansy.
Yeah, you can.
So
use
you got to
that word.
say outdoors, no matter the weather. You got to say outdoors, and apparently the colder the better. Okay.
You're going
I'm going outdoors.
I go out indoors on basketball. Okay, and I'm going indoor on hockey. I'm done with these little cutesy little games that they play on New Year's and all that. Hockey Day in Minnesota I want to keep outside, but don't let the whole United States of America with colleges and pro get involved with this outdoor hockey. It's a charade. I don't like it. It's a joke. Bad vision. If I went to a doggone Chicago Blackhawks game and I sat in Wrigley Field and paid $110 way up in the cheap, I can hardly even see the numbers. No, that's not happening. So hockey, basketball, indoor, baseball, football, definitely both belong outside. Good question. Soccer,
curling indoors.
Soccer wherever, just not in the United States.
And
Sports movie.
Best sports movie. I just got into an argument with my students the other day about this topic, and somebody mentioned the movie Hoosiers, and the child said I'd never seen Hoosiers before. I almost came off of my rocker. Hoosiers is the best sports movie ever.
I'm going to agree. My dad loved that movie, and I got the biggest kick out of whenever it was on. I'd call him up, Dad, I'm coming over. We're going to watch Hoosiers. And he just absolutely loved it. A lot of life lessons in that movie, too, which is why I liked it. Miracle was very good.
And they won, I know, surprisingly. And Miracle's awesome.
Miracle was right up there. And
Can't beat the truth.
What's
Reality, you can't beat reality. I mean, the real
yeah,
story.
and I thought Kurt Russell
And that's
did
why
it.
Hoosiers I mean, obviously they played it up a little bit, but, you know.
And another one, probably the bronze medal would be Brian's song.
Ooh. And I can honestly say I've never watched that movie from start to finish.
Really?
Never. I'm a little too young for that.
Well, it's kind of an interesting story. 1969 with a black and a white person being roommates, and that to me, there's a big story than just Brian getting cancer. There's a lot more to it. So, pretty emotional movie. Great questions. I mean, holy man.
Well, I got two.
Two more.
Well, those were.
One is a comment on you're talking about teams should just hang themselves up and be done with it.
Yeah.
But the movie Back to the Future predicted the Cubs winning the World Series when they won the World Series. They're diehard fans that were waiting a long time.
Yeah.
They got their days.
Well,
I want to tell them, everybody, so they can hear Back to the Future predicted that the Cubs would win.
yeah.
So
I like the one where he went back to the future, then came forward again, and he had all the.
all of it, he was there.
He said, "Make sure 1985, you put a lot of money on this," because he knew what happened.
He knew what happened.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So Anyways, good question. I don't even know. What
And
it
last
was.
one.
Last one is if you were to see like a robotic competition.
Here we go.
How it or like the one robot doing the goalie, one doing the power deal or the overtime goal, or snowball fight.
Robotics competition. Would you like to see goalie versus shooting robots doing it, or do you want to see a snowball fight? Is that right? Am I saying that right?
That's it.
Go ahead.
I get to go ahead?
Well, yeah.
Well, to be honest with you, it would be really super cool to be able to see a robot that was a goaltender and a robot that was bringing the puck down the ice and, you know, have the stick going each way and handling the puck. I think that'd be pretty cool. The snowball fight, I mean, snowball fights are cool. You just, you know, whatever. So I'm going hockey. I'm going to hockey. I think
Not even a question. Okay, it is snowball fights. Snowball fights again. Lots of life lessons. Okay, because nowadays they probably don't even have them. Okay?
No,
because Johnny hits Jimmy in the eye. Guess who's going to get sued?
That's right.
And then the school's going to get sued at the same time. So the school gets sued, Jimmy's parents will get sued, and they probably don't even allow. So that's why let's bring lots of snowball fights back.
Wouldn't put down the devices long enough to make a snowball.
That's true. It'd be tough.
There you go. Yeah. That's how he would get hit. He's got his head down, and all of a sudden, somebody, Jimmy, bang,
Lloyd, what do you got?
something. Your son was impressive tonight with the questions.
No, it was.
That was the best he's ever done.
I can't compete.
I can't compete with that.
How you happy with your Gopher win against Indiana?
I have a question.
Yeah, I'm happy. I just doing all the.
Yeah,
Ken,
you're
what do you got?
a good guy. Yep.
How's the volleyball, girls volleyball going?
All the fall sports are over except for girls in swimming and diving. And Ryan Ford, I should have mentioned this when I was talking high school, qualified for the state cross country meet coming up this Saturday.
Good for him.
So congratulations to her. And the Bronco
her.
Bowl team won the conference title on Saturday. So the Bronco girls volleyball lost on Wednesday to Greenway in 3 sets, and Little Fort volleyball lost to Hill City in 4 sets on Monday.
What competition were they in?
For the
For the volleyball, was it?
there was sections, not at state. They were at section level.
So is Falls going to have a good hockey team this year?
Boys or girls?
Oh,
I'm going to say, and this is a quick prediction out front of whatever, I'm going to say that the boys hockey team will win between 14 and 15, inclusive. I say they're going to win 14 or 15 games this year. The girls team, and it's kind of I don't know if they're getting any girls from Rainy River. I know they're not getting any from Lake of the Woods, but I don't know if they're getting any from Rainy River, so I'm going to hold off on my prediction on the girls hockey team because it's different if they've got more girls coming from out west.
And it's a new era. I mean, a new time. Erasmus is going to have to take over that team. I think girls they'll be a 500 team. The boys, I think it's going to be dependent on the development of the Smith kid and who's the redheaded?
Jackson Germain.
Yeah, the Germain kid. They got to play up another notch now. They're no longer sophomores and freshmen. I think both are very skilled and talented. Simon Palm will lead the team as far as that goes, but he's got to be careful. He's got to play harder this year than he did as a junior and sophomore. Because a lot of times they play hard, then they get to their senior year, they got a C on their jersey, they don't think they got to work as hard. So Simon Palm, if you do watch the show, make sure you really work as hard as you can, harder than you've ever have, because expectations are going to be higher on you, and you got to work harder to meet those expectations. So good question. I think if they stay healthy, they'll win 13 to 15 games. They need to stay healthy. They don't have the depth. They can't lose one of their top 6 forwards or defense. Yeah, I just can't. Good question.
Anything else?
All right, we're done. Don't take us too serious.